Hi there, it's Alex here at Extraction Artisan Coffee. It's a little bit late on a Wednesday night. We've just finished a cupping. We've got two of our great friends here from Southland Coffee Merchants in Adelaide. We've had a great cupping with them, and it's so fantastic having you guys here, only because I think it's a great way to connect with our customers and to get them to understand a little bit more about why we do what we do. I'd like you to actually tell people what the relevance is as to if we're going to improve the quality of product and look at green bean as something a little bit more special than just a normal cup of coffee. How can an average person who buys that cup of coffee affect the lives of people living in another country?
Oh my God, this is a great question, Alex, because I think it makes a lot of impact on their lives. I used to say, even if when you're gonna get coffee, you just ask, where is it coffee from? Who is the farmer? How is his life? And any kind of question, even if the barista don't know the answer, probably they're gonna research for it. And this little action makes a lot of impact on the back, because people is gonna start to ask for it, this information, and gonna start to understand what's going on there. And actually produce coffee is not an easy thing. We have producers in Brazil, a very good example. We have a family that we started to work 3 years ago. And she's still very humble, but she didn't know what she has in hands. And she have a beautiful, amazing coffee. And she's very hardworking, dedicated, passionate, but she never have the opportunity to sell the coffee with a very fair price. So we started to buy from her 3 years ago, just one lot, and it was great lot. And we started to talk with her every week, maybe. And then the second crop, we just find another 2 lots from her. And then she said, oh, I want to build my own hailing milling process.
Yeah.
And she said, but I'm not sure, because I'm not sure if I'm gonna sell my coffee with fair prices. And we said, go on, we're gonna buy your coffee.
That little commitment, yeah, it makes a huge difference, And what Nada just said, you know, if you make questions and you aware where that coffee comes from and the care that people behind their coffee, it does make an impact, like a positive impact on the whole supply chain.
I think as someone who roasts coffee and sells coffee to people, when someone comes in and they buy a cup of coffee, they immediately you know whether they enjoyed it or not, and they'll decide to come back. And I can understand as a farmer, if you're committing a lot of your resources to developing a better product, unless you know you're going to sell it, you could actually lose a lot of money, which could cost you your livelihood. But they have to wait a whole year
to get this
to
result.
see the result. Yeah, here in the
out.
coffee shop we get it in 5 minutes,
Yeah, that's
which is
right.
very different.
And it's much easier as well to change suppliers or find a different coffee or change or tweak your operations. For farmers, it's very difficult, because most of the times they actually don't get to know why or what went wrong with that coffee. So it's really important when in the specialty coffee market, when you have roasters that are very conscious of their role in their supply chain. So providing feedbacks, positive or negative feedbacks, back to the origin, and making sure that farmers actually can benefit from those tips for the next crop is really important. It's super important.
And it's so amazing for us when we find roasters like you guys that have the same values that we have, that not just thinking about quality, that's really important, but thinking about the grower and who is doing that job and how we can support all the supply chain. This makes a lot of impact for us, because we want to do the job, but if you don't have roasters like you, we cannot do it.
And I also think COVID proved a very valid point when it comes to us as a global community, how dramatically that changed everybody's lives when we
all
stopped connecting on that immediate level through travel and what have you. And then you see the impact on the lives of the people that can't export their product or sell it. And here in Australia, we thought we were hard done by because we couldn't get cars, imported. But like, we do very well in this country.
Amazing.
When you look at countries like Brazil that are still developing that farming community and the equity in that space to make it an ongoing and sustainable project, we all need to take some pride in supporting that and being very aware of the choices we make have a direct impact somewhere else.
And I have to say to you, thank you so much to join us on this journey and to make their lives different, because I think it's not a lot for us, it's not a lot for you and for your consumer, but it's plenty for them.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of difference.
But I've got
in
to
their
say
lives.
to you, both of you, thank you for coming to Australia looking for a better life, but not forgetting where you came from,
Yeah.
and knowing that establishing that greater community is so important to making your lives valuable here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Um,
And I feel that we have to pay back, you
Yeah,
know?
it's part of the deal. I think that's what we're all here
That's
for.
it.
Just a little bit from the guys who supply us our green bean. This is a very important project for us. We as a business want to be very closely related to this. And it's a project that's going to go over quite a few years. It's not something that's going to happen in 5 minutes. If you'd like to know more, just ask our staff or contact us directly. We'd love to talk to you about it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.